On today's show, joining me now is the people that helped got the Crossroads running and going. I am joined by Staff Sergeant Lindsay Walsh, Rhode Island Interscholastic League Director of Content, Carolyn Thorton, and Executive Director of the Rhode Island Interscholastic. Wow, the Rhode Island Interscholastic League, Mike Lunney, and also a recurring guest. How is everyone doing today?
Good.
Great, Jeff.
Doing
How are you?
great, Jeff.
All right, I'm doing well. How's everyone been since the last time I talked to everyone? Is everyone doing all right? Championships went off well.
Well, I'll jump in, I guess. Yeah, we got our 2 seasons in right now in our 4-season model, and we just had our first set of football games last weekend, which was exciting. Girls volleyball is going on right now, unified volleyball. And we're going to be doing a game day cheer competition at the end of this season, and then the big season is coming up in season 4. That's going to be our last one, and we've got a lot of sports to get in that last push. But we're getting outside, and the weather's getting better, so we're really excited. And it's, as we said, it's been a long year, but it's been a fulfilling year too.
Great, yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad. Had been very happy to see everything get going and. Very successfully, and basketball season definitely was a great success, and along with swim, and great to see football and girls volleyball get kicked off as well too. But you guys have also been behind the scenes doing some great things as well too with Crossroads, and I want to know what was the idea of the Interscholastic League getting behind this, and pairing up with iHeartMedia and the National Guard.
Mike, do you want to take that also?
Sure. Okay. So, again, part of our mission is that we want to give kids leadership opportunities, and really talk about community service and citizenship. And obviously, there's been a lot of people in need during the pandemic. And in normal years, we have a lot of initiatives that we push out to our member schools, and we ask that the kids get involved. And a lot of this is student driven, which is great. And so when the pandemic hit, this idea came up about helping out Crossroads, Rhode Island. And we can't thank, the Army National Guard, Lindsay and her staff and everybody involved for their support in making sure we could get the things that we collected to the right place. And so that logistical help, that, and they're a busy group right now as it is, I know. But we were just so proud of our schools and our kids for going above and beyond in a really tough time to help other people. And so that was important to us. It's always important to us to promote that message and give back to their communities, whether it's during their season or not. So there was a lot of people involved. iHeartRadio helped us promote what was going on, and Carolyn has been taking this project on our staff and communicating out with our schools. So a lot of things came together logistically to make it happen, and it happened very fast. I think that was the other thing that we wanted to say, was that when we were kind of approached about the idea, we weren't exactly sure, how well it was going to go, given the time circumstances and given the fact that the kids weren't actually in school for the most part. But we were so excited to hear about the amount of teams and schools that took up the challenge and really got this thing done. So it was really a well done job by everybody involved, and we're happy with the results. And most importantly, we got to give back to Crossroads and those people that needed it the most.
That's great. That's amazing. And then Carolyn, what was it like to get the schools involved? How did you really set up, how did you get people involved? How quickly were the responses coming in? What was that like?
So as Mike said, we really weren't sure what kind of response we would get, just because of all the logistics and kids learning, doing distance learning for the most part, and in a lot of the school districts. But we put it out on our social media. We communicated with our school principals and ADs and let them know about it and asked them to spread the word. And then we just, we had asked the kids, if you're going to organize a drive, reach out to us, let us know who you are. And, and within a day or two, the emails started coming in from different schools. I'm like, okay, I think this is going to work. And I think we had about a dozen different teams. It was a little bit different than some of our other drives that we've done in the past, in that they were kind of teams embraced it rather than maybe a whole school. And they did, and they stepped up, and it was pretty neat. It was pretty neat to see, given all the challenges that are going on and everything that the kids are going through on their own end, that they, still found time to think about other people in the community. And I think that's what's really helping all of us get through this whole pandemic, is kind of that community spirit, and we're all in this together. So that was really kind of cool to see. And then we created a spreadsheet of contacts, and then that's where Lindsay came in. So maybe she can talk about, what happened once we provided the contact names and numbers of the different teams that participated.
Awesome. Yeah, Lindsay, why don't you take it from there?
Yeah, so it worked out really great. We were blown away by how quickly the schools had responded and how many wanted to participate. I know I used to be a recruiter. I was a street recruiter for 4 years. And my favorite thing to do was to be able to go into the schools and work with these kids and just see what they could do. The amount of things that they can do is phenomenal, just at the high school level. But because of COVID, none of our recruiters have been able to do that. And so it's taken our year, a whole different turn. And so this was kind of the first opportunity that we were able to really get to go back in and start interacting with those students. And that was what was important with us, because that's what we love to do most. We love to talk to these kids. We love to participate. We love to do things with them. And so by doing that, getting the list through Carolyn, I just started reaching out to all of the points of contact. We scheduled a pickup day and a time, and I had 2 drivers that took a Humvee, and they would meet either the team or the captain or the coach or whoever was there at each location, along with the high school recruiter. And then they would just pick up all of the donations. And like Carolyn said, we weren't sure what was going to come out of it, but after the first pickup, the guys called me and they were like, we're not going to be able to go to another school. Like, there was so much that we picked up just from the first school. So luckily for them, I wasn't even in the office. I was actually doing an online course myself. So they utilized all of my desk space to put everything in there that they needed to. And that's where they hoarded it for the week until the end of the week so they kept it all, in my desk space. And then ended up at the end of the week, ended up bringing it all over to Crossroads. But yeah, we were blown away by the amount of stuff that the schools had picked up for donations.
And when you see that, Lindsay, when these young men and women jump into action, what's it like to see those donations actually come in and see them act upon that? And what do you think that says about the community here in Rhode Island?
It's awesome. As a lot of Rhode Island the whole country has seen, the National Guard, we're part of the Army as a whole. So we have that federal mission of deploying, but what makes the National Guard special is that we're dual missioned. So we have a state mission as well. And obviously everybody has seen that over the past year. And our state missions are first. And that's why a lot of people join the National Guard, is because they want to help the community. They want to be a part of doing that. And by these kids doing that already in high school, it really brings that connection. They have the same kind of wants and needs that we do as well.
Nice. That's awesome. That's amazing. And then, Mike, how about yourself? Like, what does that make you feel about these kids jumping into action, caring about the communities at such a young age too, and see the maturity at their level as well?
I think it's just great recognition on their part that they took on these leadership opportunities to help somebody else that's in need. And and we certainly know that's such a powerful thing in every community to teach that, to promote that message. And again, I think the greatest part about this thing for me is that it was student driven, right? That we got the message to them and they answered the call. And I think, again, the partnership with the Army National Guard, talking with them, we found out that, not surprisingly, but we found out that a lot of the people that are involved in the Rhode Island Army National Guard are former RIIL athletes. And so, that was kind of a cool thing to see, that they carried that on. So, you know, those values of teamwork and service above self, like those kind of values is something that we want to promote. Certainly that we want our kids to, after they participate and go through high school, right, that they continue that after they leave. So, so I think it was just a great partnership that worked out really well. And we were able to help people in our community. I think that there's nothing better than that.
That's amazing. I love it, and I think that's the best thing. I think what do you think it makes it so special about Rhode Island too? Because it's such a small state, but I feel like we're all so connected in some sort of way. Like, what do you think that makes that so even more special?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of advantages to having a smaller state. We can bring schools together very quickly. Obviously, we can get to one side of the state to the other in an hour. So I think it's those things are helpful. But I think the whole recognition piece and the leadership piece is something you're going to carry with you your whole life, right? Of community, giving back, recognizing when people are in need and answering the call. So we're just so proud of the kids that got involved, and we weren't sure, heading into this year, Jeff. We normally do some statewide community service initiatives. And we weren't sure if that was going to be able to happen this year, just because of the way things are. And so when it came together so quickly and the response was so great, it just made us feel good all around. And it's something that we want to build off of. I know we've got a couple of other things planned for the rest of the year that maybe we can talk about as well. But it was just really fun, and again, to see the community come alive again. It's just we've been isolated, shut in, all those things that have been dragging for so long. Just to see any positive momentum like that was great, and so it just gave us a good feeling. And the vaccine's rolling out, and things are starting to turn, and things are starting to get better. So that's all good signs for the future for Rhode Island and all of our communities and schools.
Yeah, definitely. It's very exciting for great things that are rolling forward and happening, and bright things ahead, hopefully, and some normalcy eventually down the road for sure. And Caroline, how many schools did participate in this, and how many were involved?
So there were 12 collections done, but 2 were from East Providence. Actually, East Providence girls track and East Providence girls basketball did separate collections. So then that would be 11 schools represented. And I know the Humvee was packed. I was at the one at Johnston, and they had just come from Smithfield, I believe. And it's pretty impressive to see the Humvee come rolling up, to the school, and just pretty much went up on the sidewalk and parked in front, and they loaded it up, and the kids got to, meet some of the members of the National Guard and pose in front of the Humvee, and which is pretty cool, because it's a pretty impressive vehicle. So yeah, and it was really from around the state. I mean, not only East Providence, but I'm going to forget somebody. I think you have the list, but LaSalle, Johnston, Prout, Portsmouth, just testing me now. Westerly, Smithfield. Someone's, what's that?
North Kingstown.
Yep. Okay. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to look at my list. Tollgate, Mount St. Charles, and St. Raphael Academy. So, just really from across the state. And I think, for all of us, sometimes we take for granted some of the simple things that we, don't have to struggle for. And I think talking to some of the kids that helped purchase the items, toiletries, just everyday basic needs, cleaning supplies, cooking utensils, that kind of thing. And I think, we all kind of need reminders once in a while about how fortunate we are, and to spread the wealth a little bit, to pay it forward when we have the opportunity. So I'm really glad the kids got that opportunity to do that.
Definitely. That's amazing that they're able to participate and able to do that. And then Lindsay, what was it like to walk into your office and to see all that stuff when you first come in that class? Like, what's it like when you see the people up with all that stuff?
Well, I didn't get to see it firsthand in the office. I was at home doing a 2-week online course, but they did send me some pictures, and I was kind of glad that I didn't have to try and make a spot for myself to sit in there, because that would have been pretty tough. But it was awesome. Honestly, we weren't expecting it to take off and so quickly. Like they had said, it was really kind of put together with the short notice. And for these kids to be able to donate that much, it was amazing to see. It really was.
That's awesome. Well, shout out to those schools, and I'm glad that they're able to participate and, be able to give back to the community. And speaking to some of the kids as well, too, it's been awesome to hear what their thoughts on it, too, as well. Mike, what other events do you guys have coming up? Well, what's the next few charity events that you guys have planned?
Yeah, every spring, for the past few years, we've done a peanut butter drive for the Rhode Island Community Food Bank, and we've done this, and every single year we've collected more. And the whole idea behind this whole thing was we wanted to put together a community service project for our schools that was something that was fairly easy to put together. Give the kids an opportunity to get creative with how they could find ways to collect. And from talking with the people over at the Rhode Island Community Food Bank, one of the things that we found was that what they were saying was that a lot of people think about the food bank and donating food around the holidays. And but then after that, the months that follow, that those shelves tend to get depleted because people kind of forget that there's still a lot of people out there that are hungry, and it hits every community. So so basically, what they try to do every spring is to do a peanut butter drive to really stock those shelves and get them up to a place where they can help a lot of people. So anyway, we thought that was a great concept, and our student advisory board made that a priority for the last few years, and we made it a little challenge among our schools to see who could collect the most. So we made it, obviously we're in a competitive environment. They love to compete against each other in anything. So, we did that, and we threw the challenge out there, and again, every single year, they've stepped up and did a little bit more. So, again, it's one of those initiatives that we're really proud of. That again, it's not, it doesn't take a lot to do this. I mean, in some cases, once we get spectators back, some schools would say, bring a jar of peanut butter, get into a game for free, like those kind of things. But again, it gives them leadership opportunities within their school to find ways to help others, and that's been kind of the theme. So we love the fact that we got involved with Crossroads, because it was kind of right in line with what we did every single spring with the Peanut Butter Express. And Carolyn, last year with the COVID involved, I mean, we still were able to do a lot of good, right?
Yeah, I mean, we had to discontinue last year's peanut butter drive because all this, everyone was in it that was at home, staying at home. But I did receive emails from kids who had started collecting at their schools, and so they just kind of arranged to donate it to the food bank on their own or at their local food pantries. And that's the point. I mean, there's need everywhere. So their efforts definitely didn't go to waste, even though we weren't able to kind of announce a top collecting school. And the great thing about this year is that the Peanut Butter Express drive is going to be presented by Bank Rhode Island, which is a new partner of the RIIL. And we launched it on Monday through social media and send it out to the schools. And I've already, been seeing on social media some, I know East Providence has just announced they're doing a challenge within their school. So I think we're going to hear from them again. And I've heard from a couple of other schools as well that they've got some big plans. So, we weren't going to put as much emphasis on the challenge part and, who's collecting the most, because we do know that it's going to be logistically a little tricky for some schools that are still in a hybrid teaching model. But I think I have a feeling that they're going to surprise us again, much the way they did with Crossroads, and step up. And I think that's what RIIL athletes do, right? We're competitors. We want to compete at whatever we do. Probably tiddlywinks and tic-tac-toe. We'd probably make that a cutthroat tournament if we could. But so it's great. I mean, I'm excited to see what the kids do with it and how creative they might get to still bring in, a lot of peanut butter. I mean, when I say that over the first 6 years, they have collected tons of peanut butter. I mean, tons and tons. And in the past, the Rhode Island Food Bank would send a truck to the office. And the last time, I want to say they had 4 or 5 pallets packed high with peanut butter, and they'd wrap it with saran wrap and take it to the food bank. So this year, the Army National Guard is stepping up again to go around to the schools. So Lindsay says those can hold a lot of soldiers. So I'm thinking it can hold a lot of peanut butter as well.
Well, based on the past, Jeff, we said that, we collect so much peanut butter that we were saying to Lindsay in our meeting the other day, to quote Jaws, I think we're gonna need a bigger boat, to get all this, because when it comes in big. And she said, no problem. She just said, look, we're gonna get a bigger truck, and we'll be able to get whatever comes in. So there's no limit to what we want to collect, and every year the community food bank is just so happy to see that truck pull up, and get that donation to help a lot of people. Because again, what we say is that we are, as a league, in every single community in our state, and so is the need. So I think it hits home with every single school, and so we've been really proud of this whole thing, and we're just so happy that Rhode Island Army National Guard is involved now, and this thing just continues to grow. So we're excited to see what's going to come in.
That's awesome. That's so exciting and so cool. Then Lindsay, it would be interesting to see how much peanut butter gets filled. You're gonna have to send some pictures of how much peanut butter gets filled in that truck.
Yeah, I've been warned now, and rightly proven from the last donations, that I need to step my game up and definitely provide a bigger vehicle. So we'll definitely get it done for sure. And one thing I did want to add quickly before we end, and I'm not sure if it was Mike, if you were the one that was contacted, but I was actually contacted today by another state, and the post that I think that we had originally posted, and then I believe you guys had shared, of all of the schools and all the pictures of the kids in the Humvees and their donations and stuff. It was noticed by another state, and now that state is actually looking to do the same thing that we're doing here.
Awesome.
And so I think it's wonderful that these kids are doing that here for our community and helping our state, but now they've really set the example, and it's going to start happening in another state. And now they're going to be helping out a whole other community without even realizing it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great. That is really great to hear, and hopefully it's a chain reaction that goes all the way across the country. I mean, that would be even better. And it started right here in Rhode Island, huh? That's pretty cool.
That's so awesome. Small state, we're just trendsetters all the way, being setting the way for everyone. But this has been amazing, and this is so great to hear just from someone that's in the community, and great to hear that the kids are able to get back with the Interscholastic League and the Army National Guard teaming up together and being able to get back to the community is just an amazing thing to hear. I appreciate you guys and everything that you do and everything that you've been doing for the kids and helping out and setting out leadership. So thank you guys for being on the show. Any comments, questions, statements before we sign off?
I just want to thank you for shining the spotlight on the student athletes and the great efforts that they did, and to show them that that people do notice that it is worthwhile, that it pays off, that they can really truly make a difference. And with something as simple as toothpaste, shampoos, and cooking utensils, cleaning supplies like that makes a difference for someone's life. And when they see that the kids care, I think that might give them a little motivation to move forward. We use the phrase that the kids were lending a hand to help someone get back on their feet. And, everyone at some point in their lives, hits that moment where they need someone to be there for them. And I don't know, I hope the kids understand that they really have made a difference with their efforts. And so thank you for, again, shining the spotlight on what they've achieved.
Of course, anytime. That's what the Rotary Runbacks here to do, give these kids a platform, and they deserve every ounce of spotlight that they can get.
Agreed.
Thank you. And thank you guys very much for being on the show, and I appreciate it, and keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
No
Thanks,
problem.
Lindsay.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Thanks. We'll be in touch soon.
All right, now joining me is the assistant coach for East Providence girls basketball team. I welcome on Coach Carissa Meekins. Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well, Coach. I know you're driving, so please be safe as you take this interview.
I'm totally going to be safe. Girls, don't do this at home. I have my daughter with me. She's making sure that I'm looking at the road, but I can do this. I'm used to talking and doing everything like that while I'm driving because I'm so busy.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Well, Coach, I want to, before we jump in about Crossroads and being part of Crossroads, I want to know, how did it feel to, step back on the court this season after the crazy season that happened last year with COVID, and to get back into coaching?
It was kind of surreal. We really did not think that we were going to have a season. Even the whole time we started practicing, we kind of prepared the girls like this could be taken from us at any given time. So please be safe. We know you like your aunts, your uncles, your grandparents, but if you want to have a season, kind of like stay home, stay away from people who you don't live with, put a mask on if you are going to be around those. I've been not glad about what happened in the year we had, but I'm glad that the girls were able to step out on the court and actually make it happen.
That's great. I'm glad to hear that, and I'm glad that you guys were able to make it happen and everything. And I want to ask, about the Crossroads, and what was the idea to get the team behind this, and have them participate in Crossroads?
So actually, I got the information from the head coach, from Bay Lambert, and he kind of puts me in charge of like everything on the side with the girls. Like he's very good at doing schedules and making sure that we're on task. But when it comes to me handling outside issues, whether it be schoolwork or grades, he's kind of like hands-on with that as well. He kind of said like, what would you like to do as like a community service? So last year we adopted a family. We adopted a single mom and two kids, and everyone kind of like put in money, and we were able to give them a Christmas where they wouldn't have a Christmas normally. And so that was really, really good. And I wanted to either adopt 2 or 3 families. And then he gave me this opportunity. I said, well, you know what? We can reach tons of people with this, like who knows how many people we can reach. And so I told the girls, like, we just have to get our stuff together. Whatever you have, like ask, like go in grandma's closet, see what she has extra that she has on standby, and grab what she has. And so I was surprised. I wanted to do more, but considering what we were going through and what the girls themselves were going through as well, we were able to donate what we could.
That's awesome. That's amazing that you guys were able to do that. And what's it like I love that you guys do adopt a family too, and participate in this as well too. It's amazing. What's it like to give back and see the kids give back and see the reaction of the National Guard when they come and pick it up?
So I ended up, this year was a little different. I ended up doing it by myself because we had just found out that we were not going to be able to make it to the playoffs. Oh. And all the girls were very, very bummed. I asked a couple of girls to kind of meet me there, and we had a tough year. So 2 of our returning sophomores failed off the team. Oh. Like our head girls, so we literally started our varsity team with 2 freshmen. Wow. and 3 sophomores.
Wow, that's great.
And so it was this year was a struggle. It was a struggle. So a lot of them felt defeated. These 2, they were juniors. They kind of were the go-to of the team. And then our other junior, so it was 3 of them, our other junior had COVID, or she was her sister was tested positive. So we lost our star and then our 2 star juniors all in 1 week. Oh. And so I literally presented this to them, and they were like, Coach, and then we found out we could be in the playoffs, but then we didn't make it to the playoffs, and they were kind of like just defeated. So I did it myself. I kind of wish that they were there to at least present, but I felt their struggle. It was a long, they felt very, very defeated. They felt, you know, like we tried to like give them every kind of push and encouragement that we could, but it was a really tough year for us this year. Tougher than we, like on top of COVID, it was tough. So I had to do it on my own, and it was kind of cool, like to see the truck come in and like, you know, like to see the guys, like they like, thank you, man. I felt proud. I honestly, I felt proud for them, for me. Like it was a proud moment. So I felt good in doing that. And I let them know as well. I took a picture of them and kind of sent it to the girls.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
That's great. I mean, it's obvious that's a really tough season. It's a tough up and down.
Yeah, it was tough.
Sounds very emotional, but you know, hopefully, you know, prepares you guys for next year with, you know, hopefully we'll have a normal season too next year and everything like that.
God willing, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But that's amazing that you were able to pull it together by yourself and be able to do that for the community, and make that happen. And that's just absolutely amazing. And, you know, way to step up big time. And it's awesome. We need more people like you in this world for sure. And like, are you guys going to be participating in the peanut butter drive? What's the next thing for you guys? Are you participating in that?
No, what is that? I don't even know what that is.
They're doing like a peanut butter charity, they're donating like jars of peanut butter, the RIIL and the National Guard.
Oh no, I didn't even know. If you could send me info, I would totally try to get the girls to do something like that.
Yeah.
If it's not too late.
No, it's definitely not too late. Yeah, I'll get the information from Carolyn and send it your way.
We would totally do that. Absolutely.
Cool. Yeah, I started something that East Providence was involved, but I didn't know which teams were involved. So we'll have to get you guys involved. Have some inter-school.
Absolutely, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, well, Coach Meekins, it was great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for participating.
Thank you.
We're gonna get you and Coach on eventually down the road too, and have you guys.
Absolutely, he's busier than I am. I thought I was busy. I mean, I have like a side business. My daughter plays travel softball. My son, it's crazy. He's a busier guy than I am, and he would probably have more time and be like in a full like meeting at a desk, and I'm just like all over the place. So I apologize that I'm in my car and the lighting's bad and the whole 9 yards, but I did want to just make sure that I got here for you so that we could at least have a conversation and let you know, like, the girls definitely appreciated being able to be a part of this, whether they were here or, you know, to explain it or show it themselves. They did feel like they were proud of themselves. And so thank you for putting all of this together.
Of course, anytime. Thank you very much for, you know, taking the call. I appreciate it as well too, the drive. I'm glad that it looks like you're parked now, but thank you so much for being part of this. And I will
pull over just so I can like give my full attention.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Well, you have a good one, and thank you again, and be safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it. Have a good night. You too.
No problem. Thank you. All right, on today's show, I welcome on two very special guests. They are Adeline Areson and Amanda Preston. They are members of the Tollgate girls basketball team. Guys, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
How are you?
I'm doing well. Can't complain. First of all, I want to say thank you very much for being on the show, and also thank you very much for participating in the Crossroads. I think that's an amazing thing to be a part of and be able to participate in that. Before we ask you questions about Crossroads, I want to get into your guys' basketball season. What was it like to, you know, play in a season that was uncertainty and, you know, playing with Mass? Adeline, why don't you start us off?
It was definitely different and definitely not what I expected my freshman year of basketball to be like. And yeah, I just didn't expect to be playing basketball with the mask on.
Yeah. And how about yourself, Amanda?
Yeah, the same thing for me. It was different because like the cardio is like so much harder with the mask on, and there's like so many more rules because of COVID, like mask rules like that are required and stuff. And like Addie said, I would never expect my freshman year to be playing basketball with a mask on.
Yeah, it's got to be a weird thing to go through, and like it's got to be a weird experience to be able to, you know, play a game with no fans. But what was it like to be able to step on the court, and how did your guys' season go?
We had a pretty good.
Wait, can you say that again?
Yeah.
Sorry.
What was it like to, like how was it like to play like a season, like to have a season? What did it feel like to be like step on that court?
Well, I guess I'll start. It was like different because me and Addie, we've only played like our real basketball was travel, and to get to that like next level in high school was like a big difference. And then we also had like all the stuff with COVID, so there was like no one cheering us on or anything. But we had a pretty good season. We made it to playoffs, which was a big deal for us. Anything you want to add, Addie?
I feel like we were definitely very fortunate for being able to play basketball, because I know in the beginning of like the school season, they were definitely like, we don't know if we want to play sports and stuff. So I definitely feel like we were very fortunate to play basketball in a gym, like not outside.
Yeah, it's gotta be awesome too, to be able to, be able to play basketball and be able to get out there. And lucky that you guys had a season with everything that was going on. What was that first playoff experience too at the high school level for you guys?
It was like different because we faced a pretty good like competition-wise team, and I know I thought we weren't going to be able to stick with them. They've been like blowing teams out of the water. We stuck with them, and we only lost by 3 points. So,
Yeah, 3 points.
Yeah, it was a good experience to be able to stay like in an even match with them when they've been like destroying teams and stuff.
Wow, that's awesome. That's great. That's really great. So I want to ask you, how did you guys hear about Crossroads, and how did that come about?
Well, actually, Amanda's dad saw it on Twitter and he sent it to us, and we were like, you guys should give back to your community and help others out.
That's awesome. That's great. And like, what was that feeling like, to be able to participate and help others, give back to the community? What would that mean to you guys?
Well, it meant a lot to me because the community has been like giving back to us, and was gave us the like advantage of being able to play sports in high school, and like with everything going on, they deserve like something back to them too, because COVID's changed like everyone's life, and they deserve something good too. Like with all the donations we made, I'm hoping it like went to someone who needed it like a lot.
That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah, we're definitely very fortunate enough to give back and be able to give back to the community, and just made us feel very grateful for what we have in our lives and what we can provide for them.
That's awesome. And so what were some of the things that you guys donated? What did you guys have to collect? How did you guys go about it? And if you want to explain that process as well too.
Well, first we were like thinking of like what we should get, because they only gave us like a list of like some things of like necessities that they needed, and we kind of like built it off of that. So we made a trip to the dollar store, and we started to collect like the main things they asked for. And yeah.
And then after that, we posted on our Tollgate Girls Facebook page saying we were going to have like collect donations, and a bunch of girls on our team were helpful, and they donated stuff like masks, hand sanitizer, stuff to keep
Socks.
Yes, stuff to keep them safe like during the pandemic, because I don't think they have like masks, because those are like hard to find still. So
Yeah.
give them those, and like hand sanitizer, so they can stay like as clean as possible and like protect themselves.
That's great. And I think that's amazing that you guys are able to do that. What's it like, like how accomplished and like how well did you get out of this, and do you see you guys participating in this again? Do you how do you want to make this bigger too for other people to get more involved?
Yes, we definitely see ourselves participating in it again. We definitely see us trying to spread it on social media more, because that's basically the way we communicate now, and how people like talk to us on social media. So we're definitely going to try to get on social media and try to get more teams involved.
And Amanda, do you have anything to add to that, or?
She hit it pretty much perfectly with the social media and how we can spread it through that.
Awesome. Is it over, or is it still going on? Is there gonna be another event you know of, or is it just what it is for right now?
I think it's over now because the National Guard came and collected all our donations. But if we see another event like that, we're definitely gonna jump in and try and get it up again and start getting other teams to participate in it.
Nice. Yeah, if there's another event, let me know. I'll definitely help spread the word for you guys as well too, and help you guys get collections, and definitely donate for sure. So anytime that you guys need that. But I want to thank you both for being on the show. And it's awesome what you guys are doing with Crossroads, and continue to keep giving back to the community. And you just seem like two great people in this world, and we need more people like you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys, have a good one.
You too.
Thanks. All right. Now joining me is Emily Iannuccilli. She is a junior point guard for Johnston girls basketball team, and as well she plays softball for a softball team as well too for Johnston. Emily, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Emily, you are now an officially reoccurring guest on the show. So first, how does that feel?
Good to be back.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you back. It's great to have you back. Before we talk about Crossroads and get into Crossroads and how you got involved with Crossroads, I want to know how did the rest of the basketball season go since the last time we spoke? What was your time like making the playoffs and everything?
Yeah, so it was good. It was definitely, we weren't expecting it, but going into there, we knew that we had to have a playoff mindset rather than just a regular season and a regular game. We played Situate in the first round. It was a tough game, but it was also a good game. It was a good competition. It was ended up being our last game with the seniors, so it was kind of one of those bittersweet moments. Like, it was tough to lose, but we were there to play for them. We played till the very end, but I was very happy with how it ended. We ended up coming together at the end, got a few wins, so it was good the way we ended.
That's good. That's great. Yes, you guys played a very, it was a hard fought game against Situate. Watch that, and you guys play hard every game. I watched a lot of games ever since you guys came on the show, and there's room for you guys all the way. So you guys played really extremely hard. So you should be proud of yourselves. And now it's on, I guess, for softball season, right? So I want to ask, how did you first hear Crossroads?
Well, so with the basketball team, we try to do some type of charity fundraiser each year. And last year we did the Coaches versus Cancer. We had the boys and the girls game. We had 2 pink out games. So I ran that last year. But with this year with COVID, it was kind of difficult to have a at game function because obviously limited fans, and actually we had no fans this year. So I was trying to think of something that we could do a little outside of the game, but still keep it within the teams. So, and then I heard about the RIIL doing the Crossroads. So I was like, oh, this could be a good way to still do some type of charity. So that's basically how I ended up getting into this.
That's awesome. And what is just for the listeners out there who don't really know what the Crossroads is, what does the Crossroads entail? What do you guys do to, give back to the community? What does it entail?
Okay, so you get household items that help people get back up on their feet. It's like the little things that you wouldn't think of getting, like toothpaste, shampoo, conditioner, little the one specific thing was the curtain for the shower curtains, the little hooks, because they're little things that people can't necessarily get, but they still need.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. And that's great that you were able to participate. What did it mean to you just to be a part of it and give back to the community? I know you did community events before, but what's it mean to do this aspect of giving back to the community?
Well, with this aspect, I was definitely thinking, I know right now with COVID, it's very difficult for families. And I'm fortunate that both of my parents are still employed. They have jobs that are able to keep them working. But I know some people, they can't help it right now. So it's just felt good to help others who are in situations where they can't control it. It's out of their hands. So just to help them get back on their feet. So it just felt good to know that I was helping other people out.
That's awesome. That's great. And what's one of the most fulfilling moments that you probably may have gotten out of this, or is anything like that?
Yeah, I would say definitely at the end when we had all the laundry baskets with all the stuff in it. And it was kind of just looking back at it it's like you get all the stuff along the way, but then when you put it together, you actually get to realize how much stuff we actually got. And it's just like, oh, that's nice. That's going to help someone out. And it's just going to like push them forward so they don't have to worry about that stuff.
That's great. That's awesome. So do you see yourself down the line doing this more, participating more with Crossroads, or and doing also the Coaches versus Cancer next year? What do you see yourself doing?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I had a blast with it. So when they came and picked up all the stuff, it was fun. We did it with the boys team as well. We did just like we did last year with the Coaches versus Cancer. And I would definitely try to end up maybe doing both of them next year, because the pink out game, that's fun. We even coordinated with the opposing teams. So it just, in Crossroads, it's just helping other people. So I'd like to do as much as we can for everyone.
That's awesome. I love it. Yeah, it's a great thing to do, especially in a tough time with what we have going on today. It's a lot of unknown, a lot of uncertainty, and it's nice that the Johnston, girls and boys basketball team were able to come together and give back to the community and help out the community around there. And now, is there anything going to happen for softball? Do you guys have anything planned, or what's that going to be?
Well, I know with the RIIL, they've done the Peanut Butter Express in the past. And I know this year they're trying to do it peanut butter and jelly, I believe. So like a little combination of both. So I think we're going to try to end up doing that as well, which will be fun.
That's awesome. That's great. That's awesome, Emily. I think that's just amazing that you are able to give back to the community, and you sound like such a giving and caring person, and keep doing what you're doing. And Johnston's very lucky. Johnston schools and Johnston, the community itself, is very lucky to have you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for being on the show.